All right, right now in the 5 series, we're going to get into some anthropological records, right? I call them anthropological records because for me, they're records that are of historical or cultural importance to a nation or to a region, right? I'm going to start off with Olatunji, Flaming Drums. It's a record that you see around. I guess it sold quite a few copies because there's parts 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. It's out of Ghana, and it's just an explosive drum laden record, right? It's brilliant. It's not as rudimentary as some of the other records that I'll mention here, because I think they had an idea or they had an inclination of the commercial possibilities of it. So there's a little bit of a gloss to it, but it's still raw from the core, from the motherland. It's a celebrated record. I love this record. It's one of my faves. Next up, music for the classical oud, Kamis Elfino. He's just a brilliant virtuoso oud player. I don't know really much about this instrument. I bought this record a while ago, and it's just a great listen. It starts off as background of it. It draws you in because he's just a virtuoso player. With a track on here that's got some great chants, and it's just an interesting record. It's out of Egypt. It's an Egyptian records on the Folkways Records label. Brilliant. Next up, music of Indonesia. There's so many different genres of Indonesian music. I won't get too much into it. This is music of Indonesia. It's just, once again, it's a percussive, driven, intricate, and just beautiful record. It's like the drums are almost singing to you or humming to you. It just draws you in. And this is a record that I love. There's a track on here called I did a playlist for restaurant once, and I put this track on here from here. I think it's called Jakale, and the owner of the restaurant just loved it. He wanted more of that music, so he sent me down this Indonesian rabbit hole. So anyway, this is a great record. Music of Indonesia, cannot go wrong with that record. Big ups to that record. And next up, this is music folkloric du monde from Iran. I really bought this record because there's a track on here called Ballad, and it's one of the greatest tracks I've ever heard. And I just bought this record. I spent quite a bit of money on it for just one track, which is something I never do. And I just started to get into the record, and the rest of this record is really good too. I mean, Ballad is amazing, but the rest of the record is it's almost like taking you on a journey to another time, another period, and it's just like a transformative, dreamlike record, right? And it's just it has an authenticity and there's a wonder to it. I just love this record. It's just a really beautiful record, and when I play it, I always get something out of it. This record is, I was going to ignore this record. Music from the Himalayas. I said, what does this really mean? I gave it a listen, and the first track on side A is a track called Chloe or something. Anyway, it is an amazing record, and the rest of this is just incredible. I can't believe it's like they're in the Himalayas, but they must have had a deep record collection. It's like people who lived in the Himalayan mountains had a deep record collection, because you get free jazz vibes. You get like, you get the Turkish, the Lebanese, the drum, the percussive instrumentation, but you get some deep jazz vibes in here too. I'm not sure if that's just by accident, because they're just channeling their own vibe, or they were listening to Ornette Coleman, but you get some Ornette Coleman, Rahsaan Roland Kirk, Pharoah Sanders vibes in here too. It's unbelievable from looking at this cover, but that's what I get on some of these tracks, and it's a great record, right? Archaeological records, anthropological records, good fine records, hi-fi recluse. This is where it's at.